Tonight, looks can be deceiving.
Ice in many parts of the province is very unpredictable.
A warning from RCMP and ice safety tips from experts after a number of tragic incidents in Manitoba. Also tonight, diabetes rates jump.
We've seen a steady increase in both the prevalence and the incidence.
What might be behind the increase as another major health condition becomes less common? Plus,
and another day, another Alberta Clipper wreaks havoc on southern Manitoba. Coming up, I'll show you how much longer these winds are going to blow and just how strong they're going to get.
CTV News. Live from downtown Winnipeg with Marilee Caruso.
good evening. Thanks for joining us. The blast of winter weather that's caused all kinds of problems across our province is not done with us yet. CTV weather specialist Colleen Brady is keeping an eye on the situation for us and joins us now live. So Colleen, what do we need to know?
Well, the winds are going to keep on blowing. The thing is that we're going to get maybe lulled into a sense of maybe this ending a little before we thought it might, because you know what? The winds are going to be whipping around. We've had strong winds coming from the southeast all day long, blowing around the snow that's been continuing to fall. They'll ease up, but it's only momentary. As the Clipper itself passes across Manitoba, the winds are going to whip around. This time they're going to come from the northwest. So we are still very much under a blowing snow advisory here in Winnipeg and all across much of southern Manitoba, including Brandon as well. We're going to see gradual improvements starting overnight, first in the west, but as the winds start to ease up out there, they're just going to get stronger here in Winnipeg. We will see improvement on Saturday. Well, I'll show you coming up a little later on when we will all feel the winds ease up, coming up a little later, as well as your full weekend forecast and looking ahead into next week, which of course is the Christmas week. Let's take a look right now through the Bathfitter Live Eye. Bathfitter, your bath and shower experts for more than 40 years. In Winnipeg right now, light snow continues to fall. Winds out of the southeast at 29 kilometers an hour. Now, the current temperature is -14, but with the wind chill, it feels like -24. The pressure's dropping, and the humidity right now, Marilee, is 84%.
Thanks, Colleen. And we are keeping an eye on highway conditions all across the province this hour. At last check, it appears all highways have reopened, but the situation is very fluid. Highways throughout western Manitoba in particular have been closed for most of the afternoon, and a portion of the East Perimeter Highway reopened in just the last hour. However, most major highways across Manitoba are now listed as partly snow-covered, and reduced visibility remains a big issue across the province. You can head to our website or Manitoba 511 for the latest updates. And the ongoing winter storm continues to cause issues for mail delivery. Brandon, Flin Flon, The Paw, Thompson, Dauphin, and Winnipeg are all under a yellow delivery service alert. This means mail will only move if conditions allow, and there may be delays. For Dauphin and Winnipeg, it's actually an improvement from yesterday. Both those places were under a red alert then, meaning delivery drivers were recalled. And a note for those who may have been counting on Operation Red Nose to get home tonight. The agency is suspending tonight's ride service because of the inclement weather. It says it can't take the risk of putting any of its volunteers in danger. Instead, you're encouraged to take transit, call a cab or rideshare service, or arrange a designated driver. It expects to resume service tomorrow. With winter comes ice, and as people head out to ice fish or snowmobile, safety should be top of mind. Tonight, RCMP are speaking out this season as it's getting off to a deadly start. CTV's Harrison Shin is standing by live with those details. Harrison, what are RCMP seeing so far?
Marilee, Mounties say there have been 5 ice safety-related incidents since late November, leaving 4 dead and 1 rescued.
That's, I would think, at most is your average for a winter, but we're only into December, so that's concerning.
Since late November, RCMP say ice safety incidents are on the rise. Mounties say 1 person was rescued, but there were fatalities. Manek adds, responding to these incidents can be difficult due to multiple factors like safety of first responders and boat accessibility.
The 4 steps for if your vehicle is in water is, take your seatbelts off, open your windows and get out immediately. And if you have children, get them out ahead of you.
Gordon Giesbrecht, Professor Emeritus from the University of Manitoba, says if you drive your vehicle on the ice, preparing for the reasonable worst case is essential. He also says checking the thickness of ice is important. Minimum 4 inches of clear, meters strong ice for walking, 6 inches for snowmobiles, and a foot if you like to drive a truck on it. And for snowmobiles, local snowmobile clubs are going around checking the thickness.
It happens regularly because there could be a change in current, there could be a shift with a body of water like we've seen Lake Winnipeg, how it can all of a sudden ice walls almost pop up in, so it has to be consistently checked.
Rideout says so far 16 out of 53 local clubs in the province has started to check the ice. RCMP say exercise extreme caution.
Harrison, if you do fall through the ice, what should you do?
Marilyn Giesbrecht says it's important to kick and pull. When you kick the water, your body will come up closer to the surface of water and pull yourself along the ice instead of pushing yourself right up. Crawl away until you can stand up and get off the ice.
All right, thanks for this, Harrison. Now to a tragic incident in northeastern Manitoba. 2 snowmobilers missing since Monday have been found dead. RCMP say a 28-year-old man and a 27-year-old woman left the community of St. Teresa Point First Nation on a single snowmobile in the early morning hours. Community members organized search parties, and the pair were reported missing 2 days later. RCMP say they were found by local searchers north of the community Thursday afternoon. Investigators believe they were traveling on ice when they hit some rocks and were thrown from the machine. An autopsy is ongoing to determine the cause of death. Doctors Manitoba is urging rural Manitobans to plan ahead this holiday season as it warns about reduced hours and outright closures of emergency rooms. The agency expects 28 out of Manitoba's 71 rural ERs to be fully closed. It says another 25 will likely have limited hours or periodic closures, while the remaining 18 are expected to stay open 24/7.
So for my rural neighbors, or if you're from the city and planning on travel throughout rural Manitoba this holiday season, we've put together ruralcare.ca, which does list all of the hours of the rural emergency departments, so that even if you can't plan an emergency, that you can plan to know where to go.
Doctors Manitoba expects all 4 of Winnipeg's ERs and 3 urgent care centers to remain open. However, it notes physician staffing may be stretched at Seven Oaks, Victoria, Concordia, and Grace hospitals, so prepare for possibly longer wait times. The rate of diabetes is soaring in Manitoba. New research from the Manitoba Centre for Health Policy looked at major diseases over the last 20 years, and in the last decade, it found a 46% increase in the number of Manitobans living with diabetes. With more on this, CTV's Jeff Keel joins us now live. Jeff, I take it this is a big concern.
Absolutely. The researchers say people are being diagnosed at a younger age and living longer with diabetes. More than a decade ago, Nikki Webb was shocked by her type 1 diabetes diagnosis.
You're otherwise young, healthy adult, and all of a sudden now there's a flick of a switch and your whole life changes.
Those changes included monitoring her insulin levels and what she ate.
It's kind of nonstop thinking about it. And now that I also have a child, I have to think about, how do I be safe to ensure that I'm, able to care for her.
Unfortunately, Webb is far from alone. Research from the Manitoba Centre for Health Policy shows between 2013 and 2023, there was a 46% increase in the number of Manitobans living with diabetes. And comparing the years 2015 to 2018 with 2020 to 2023, cases rose by 21%, representing more than 6,000 Manitobans who were newly diagnosed. The study says people are being diagnosed at a younger age and living longer with the disease.
It is certainly alarming. The number of people that we saw, we were able to identify over 150,000 individuals.
The belief is a poor diet, obesity, and a lack of physical activity are risk factors, as well as socioeconomic reasons like access to food for low-income people.
The social determinants of health are big factors, I think, in why we're seeing these increases in this condition.
But there were positive takeaways. Over the last 20 years, the rates of heart attacks, strokes, and nearly every major chronic disease declined, possibly linked to improved treatment, earlier diagnosis, and better prevention.
Like smoking cessation, that could be a factor where we see some decreases.
The researchers also point out while rates for many of these chronic diseases drop, the number of Manitobans living with these conditions is still rising because of population growth and the aging population.
So, Jeff, where did this research team get its information?
Yeah, the report says they analyzed what they call 110 health indicators like doctor and nurse practitioner visits to hospitalizations, procedures such as hip replacements and cataract surgeries, and tests such as CT scans and MRIs.
Thanks for this, Jeff. Turning now to an important note for drivers. MPI rates are going up next spring, but not by as much as first thought. The Public Utilities Board is ordering an increase of 1.77% to Manitoba Public Insurance's basic rate. It means the average driver will pay a little less than $2 more each month in the 2026-27 insurance year. That's actually lower than the 2.07% increase MPI was originally asking for. Also approved was a new $1,000 deductible, a 53% insurance discount for people with a driver safety level rating of 20, and vehicle rate groups extending from 41 to 45. The changes take effect April 1st. A heads up if you regularly enter Canada through remote areas. Canada Border Services Agency says its remote area border crossing program will end in September next year. The program allowed permit holders to enter the country without physically presenting themselves at a port of entry. Instead, it will reintroduce telephone reporting, meaning those entering the country in certain areas will have to report to a designated site and call CBSA from there. For our province, this applies to the Northwest Angle area where travelers from the U.S. enter the country from the east. To make the transition easier, CBSA says active RABC permits will be extended to September 13th. The change takes effect the following day at midnight. Manitobans spent millions of dollars to get their hands on some American booze, and now the province is donating a chunk of that money to charities. The Manitoba government donated $2.6 million from the sale of American liquor products. Of that amount, the province says $1 million is going to the Winnipeg Christmas Cheer Board to help with donations and the delivery of Christmas hampers. It comes after the province temporarily put its stock of U.S. booze back on the shelves.
I'm so incredibly grateful for what we've received today. It's going to do so much in the community. Next season, we're going to be able to make such great improvements on these hampers and just give everybody who needs us just that much better of a holiday season.
Manitoba Harvest is also getting $500,000, with another $500,000 going to Brandon charities. The province says U.S. alcohol products will remain on sale until Christmas Eve, with proceeds continuing to go to charity. Santa braved the blowing snow today to deliver a big check to some local charities.
$20,000 we're giving. Just make sure.
$100,000 was handed over to 5 charities, including Resource Assistance for Youth, Red Road Lodge, Bear Clan, and Mama Bear Clan, as well as Inner City Youth Alive. The money was raised through the Bridge to Nowhere ride, which happened back in June. But that wasn't the end of the giving spirit. Santa and his reindeer then hopped onto their bikes and cycled through downtown Winnipeg for the 14th annual Cycle with Santa event.
The folks that we visit, you know, the charities are doing it every day, 24/7. You know, we think it's a little bit of a challenge for us for 90 minutes, but just think of our people living in the streets every day and the charity groups that are working in that in the homeless sector every day fighting the fight.
Jolly old St. Nick and his helpers spent the afternoon handing out candy canes, mitts, toques, and socks to those struggling in our city. Organizer Carrie LeBlanc says about 25 volunteers took part in the ride, which lasted about an hour and a half. It was slippery out there. Community spirit was on full display in Sage Creek during yesterday's snowstorm. When emergency vehicles got stuck in the snow, neighbors quickly grabbed their shovels to help.
It wasn't too clear what was going on, but what we could see is the tires were spinning, and I quickly realized, wow, they're stuck. I didn't even know a fire truck could get stuck.
That's Nelson Camp, who says once he and his 12-year-old son realized what was happening, they quickly grabbed their shovels and rushed outside. And they weren't alone. About a dozen people in all got to work clearing a path, first for the ambulance and then for the fire truck. Camp says one of his neighbors suffered a medical emergency.
That was a lot of work, but it was great. Everybody came in. You know, people were speaking different languages. We're all from different backgrounds. My son was the youngest. He's 12. And one of my neighbors is definitely well into senior years, and they were out helping as well. So it was great to see everybody from the community contribute and work together.
Cam says once they were done, they kept the momentum going and cleared the driveway for a nearby senior. He says the whole experience restored his faith in humanity. Well, today is the deadline for the U.S. Department of Justice to release its files on the Jeffrey Epstein case.
My concern is whether they are releasing the documents in good faith.
But will the Trump administration make its midnight deadline? That story when we return.
We all know just how cold Manitoba winters can be. Imagine not having a winter coat, boots, a toque, or mitts, and stepping out into the cold. That's the reality for many kids. But you can change that. Give the gift of warmth. Donate to Coats for Kids.
Taking a look at the markets tonight, crude oil added 52 cents. The Canadian dollar is mostly unchanged at 72.5 cents U.S. Gold gained $22. The TSX rose 314 points. The Dow Jones is up 183 points, with the Nasdaq added 301 points. South Beach Casino and Resort is calling for a wrongful dismissal lawsuit to be tossed. Last week, the casino's former security manager filed a lawsuit alleging he was let go under the guise of a workplace harassment complaint denying any inappropriate behavior. He alleges the termination was instead in retaliation for raising concerns over the flow of drugs into the facility. However, in a statement of defense filed Wednesday, the casino denies any wrongdoing, calling the accusations frivolous. It argues the employee was terminated for sexually harassing employees, which led to 2 complaints and an investigation. None of the claims have been tested in court. Ontario Premier Doug Ford was in Buffalo today to ink a new deal on nuclear power with New York's governor. Both leaders made repeated reference to the strength of the cross-border relationship. But as CTV's Rachel Aiello reports, ties like these will soon be tested as the U.S. is demanding concessions in the 2026 review of the Canada-U.S.-Mexico trade deal.
We're going to stand firm and let people know who our friends are.
Signing a new cross-border nuclear energy agreement, the leaders of Ontario and New York reaffirmed their cooperation.
We're here today to celebrate and strengthen the deep relationship between New York and Ontario.
Though it's these kinds of cross-border ties that will soon be tested when the CUSMA review begins. In mid-January, Canada-U.S. Trade Minister Dominic LeBlanc will meet with his D.C. counterparts to launch discussions. This week, the top U.S. trade representative told Congress the Trump administration has a wish list of trade irritants Canada needs to address. Jameson Greer wants expanded access to the supply-managed dairy market.
We're obviously very concerned because all of the things that the Trump administration is talking about currently would have a direct impact.
The USTR is also unhappy with Canada's online streaming and news laws that impose obligations on major American tech and media giants.
For us, we don't see that there is a legitimate cause for this to be on the table.
The Prime Minister says these issues are just a piece of the broader discussion that's about to get underway.
We will always pursue an agreement that is in the interest of Canadian workers, Canadian families.
Those involved in the last round of trilateral trade talks say it'll be key for Team Canada to stay united.
So the talks that are going to kick off in January is the beginning of what will likely be a long process. So my advice is brace for a lot of ups and downs.
Canada did make concessions during the NAFTA renegotiation. This time around, as Donald Trump tries to extract more, those in the supply-managed dairy and egg sectors I heard from today said they expect Mark Carney not to crack. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Ottawa.
It's deadline day for the Department of Justice to release the Epstein files, which are expected to amount to several 100,000 documents. Olivia Rubin has the details.
Today, a moment years in the making. The files on convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein released. The Department of Justice this afternoon releasing thousands of pages of records, including photos and video. But already, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche today now signaling they may not be able to fully comply with the law.
I said all the files will not be released today. And the law is very specific that the Department of Justice is required to make sure that we protect victims.
Some Democrats in Congress now threatening legal action if DOJ doesn't comply with the release.
My concern is whether they are releasing the documents in good faith, even if it's piecemeal, or whether this is just more of the old documents being put out and a cover-up.
The Epstein Files Transparency Act gave DOJ 30 days to release the full files. DOJ can withhold material depicting child sexual abuse or material that would jeopardize an active federal investigation. The Epstein Files are separate from the dozens of photos and documents already released by House Democrats. Those were subpoenaed from the Epstein estate, including this image of Epstein surrounded by young women, their faces redacted. The images released without any context explaining the circumstances of the photos. And these photos of President Trump, a longtime friend of Epstein. After Epstein's arrest in 2019, Trump saying the two hadn't spoken in more than a decade after a falling out. Blanche now says there are no orders to redact any mentions of the president in the DOJ release.
Assuming it's consistent with the law, yes. So there's no effort to hold anything back because there's the name Donald J. Trump or anybody else's name.
And this week, President Trump's chief of staff, Susie Wiles, telling Vanity Fair in an interview that President Trump is in the files, but that he is not, quote, doing anything awful. Olivia Rubin, ABC News, New York.
Donald Trump is not ruling out the possibility of a war with Venezuela. He called that country's leadership a terrorist regime. Earlier this week, Trump ordered a blockade of oil tankers leaving and arriving in Venezuela. Recently, the U.S. seized an oil tanker off the coast of Venezuela and has been building up U.S. military forces near Venezuela. The U.S. is also on a campaign of targeting what it claims are drug smugglers. It's conducted strikes on 28 boats, killing more than 100 people. Russian President Vladimir Putin held his annual end-of-the-year news conference today. His message? He wants to work with Europe.
Вы понимаете. Я думаю, что и те кто говорит о войне с Россией, тоже понимают.
Putin also said Russian troops were making advances in Ukraine and said he's confident the Kremlin would, quote, achieve its goals if Kyiv doesn't agree to Russia's conditions in peace talks. Putin also warned the European Union against using seized Russian assets to help fund Ukraine. And it appears the EU will not use those seized Russian assets. European Union leaders have instead agreed on a massive interest-free loan for Ukraine. The money will fund that country's military and economic needs for the next 2 years.
Today, we approved a decision to provide 90 billion euros to Ukraine for the next 2 years.
If Europe had walked away today without an agreement, we would not only have failed Ukraine, we would have failed ourselves. This is a brutal war. It's a war on our own continent. A democratic nation is fighting for its survival, and the security architecture of Europe is at stake here.
In Hungary, Slovakia and the Czech Republic had all opposed the decision, but agreed after the three countries were promised protection against any negative financial consequences. RCMP have charged a Toronto man with terrorism-related offenses linked to ISIS. Waleed Khan was arrested by RCMP on November 26th. Khan is facing dozens of criminal charges in connection to an investigation by Toronto police. The offenses include kidnapping, attempted kidnapping with firearms, and conspiracy to commit sexual assault. He's one of 3 people charged. Khan is also facing 7 terrorism-related offenses in connection to a separate RCMP investigation. A police officer was shot in Welland, Ontario this morning, and a gunman remains contained in a building. Niagara police say officers were called to the area by bylaw officers but were met with gunfire upon arrival. Police say the injured officer has since been released from hospital with minor injuries. Police in the area have been told to stay indoors, lock their doors, and stay away from windows. 2 schools and a hospital are also in lockdown. Art lovers are once again being allowed into one of the world's most famous museums. The Louvre in Paris has fully reopened after staff paused a strike. The workers say they want the museum to be able to welcome visitors again, but a staff meeting has been scheduled for January to decide whether to resume strike action. Pay and working conditions are the main issues.
You know, we certainly have to be at our very best tonight.
The stalled-out Winnipeg Jets are in need of a win, but they've got their work cut out for them tonight. Your hockey report after the break.
And the lead up to Christmas starts off the long-range forecast on Sunday. A mix of sun and cloud and a high of 17 degrees. Then temperatures moderate on Monday up to -9 with the likelihood of a few flurries. Back to sunshine and colder temperatures Tuesday, -16 degrees. Increasing clouds on Wednesday, Christmas Eve up to -10. Christmas Day, mix of sun and cloud, the high of -8.
Have a news tip? When you see news happening, let CTV News Winnipeg know. Text your tips, pictures, and videos to 10400. That's 10400. Message and data rates may apply.
Star receiver Nick Dembski is sticking with the Blue Bombers for 2 more years.
BC 20, Streffler throwing here.
The 32-year-old hometown star has racked up 42 receiving touchdowns in his CFL career. Dembski won 2 Grey Cups with the Bombers, one in 2019, the other in 2021, and is optimistic about the coming season.
BC 20,
we have a lot of good football left in Winnipeg, and we know it. And you see the management getting on guys fast to get back here, and as you can see, guys want to come back. So. I think we have a lot of good football left to be played, and I think a lot of guys are going to be motivated to fix what happened last year and not try and get stuck in the past. But there's a lot of positives that could come in the future, and we all know it. We're all going to be working hard for it.
The Bombers also re-signed another 2021 champ, defensive back Dietrich Nichols. Both players were set to become free agents in February. The Winnipeg Jets desperately need to notch some wins, but tonight's Central Division leading Colorado Avalanche game won't make that easy.
They're a veteran group. They got some great additions on their team as well, and we're going to have to make sure that we're not allowing them easy offense. And I always talk about protecting the guts of the ice. This is going to be a big test for us, and that's 200 feet of that. It's going to be not allow them to get in, to odd man situations.
The Jets entered tonight's contest with only 3 wins across the last 10 games following Wednesday's disappointing 1-0 loss to the Blues. Colorado, meanwhile, is on a bit of a runaway. The team is 7-1-2 in its last 10 and looking to extend a 3-game win streak.
I think the key for us tonight is defending. Obviously, they've got some elite players over there up front and on the back end, and they're rolling as a team pretty darn well right now. So, I think coming off a game where obviously we weren't able to produce any offense, I think the key isn't going to be, trying to think about the offensive side of the game more. I think it's defending well.
This will be the first time Jets and Avalanche square off this season. Puck drop in Colorado goes at 8 o'clock.
The Hockey Report, brought to you by Santa Lucia Pizza. Check out the game day special. CTV Skywatch weather brought to you by South Beach Casino and Resort. Visit southbeachcasino.ca.
Colleen Brady back now with an update on the Alberta Clipper, making life difficult, especially for those on the roads tonight. What's the latest?
Well, the highways are improving, sort of, depending on where you are. Now, you can see clearly where the snow is falling, to the north and to the east of the city. We're still seeing some of it sweeping through the Winnipeg area, but we still have a blowing snow advisory that continues across much of the south, including the southwest, where the snow does not appear to be falling anymore, but it certainly is blowing around in these exceptional strong winds. Now, the Clipper itself was further west today over Saskatchewan, but we got all that snow out in front of it. Now the Clipper will be crossing Manitoba tonight, and as it does, it will whip around those winds. They were coming very strongly out of the southeast today, and as the low passes tonight, we'll get a bit of a break from the winds. You've already been experiencing that in Brandon. We are to a certain extent right now in Winnipeg, but later tonight they're going to flip around and come out of the northwest. But gradually overnight, you'll see some improvement first in the west, then by about midday tomorrow, we will feel much lighter winds here in Winnipeg, but Environment Canada figures it won't be really until tomorrow evening when winds will have really much broken down pretty much across the south. But again, the highways, according to the province's highways website, to the north and to the east of the city where the snow is falling are reporting as reduced visibility, as you might imagine. Highways south of Winnipeg and out to the west are partly covered. But keep in mind, again, although the snow is not falling, it is still blowing around out there in those very strong winds. East into northwestern Ontario, the snow is still coming down there. 2 to 4 centimeters expected around the region yet tonight. There is no advisory in effect there. Winds not quite as strong. Up in northern Manitoba, it is cold, so much so that a yellow warning for cold has been issued by Environment Canada for Tuduli Lake and Brochet. Wind chill values overnight will feel as cold as -45, -50. But here's a quick look at the wind chills in the province right now. Churchill, it feels like -44, not under the warning. Those other areas that are, the wind chill's not quite as strong just yet. But here in the south, we have wind chills around Winnipeg that make it feel like a -24, -25. Back to that clipper and to the snow tonight. Northern regions, the northwest, you'll see a little bit of light snow too, as you will around Island Lake, but still the bulk of that snow once again came through the south. It will continue here in the southeast for a while yet. It will subside or stop falling a little later on this evening, but it will continue to blow around. As I mentioned, once we get to around midnight, expect those winds to redevelop, this time coming more out of the northwest. So blowing snow expected across the south overnight. We will see improvement first in the west, then around midday, the winds will ease up here in the southeast as the snow continues to push off further east into Ontario. Then it should be a clipper-free weekend, believe it or not, but it will be cold, Arctic high pressure taking over, so we'll get sunshine, but we will also get the colder temperatures associated with that right into Sunday. For tonight for Winnipeg, we drop down to -18 degrees with that snow that will be stopping falling anyway a little later on this evening, but still blowing around throughout the night and overnight as these northwest winds develop. They will be strong through the morning tomorrow on Saturday. So blowing snow is possible in the morning hours, but once we hit around the noon hour, those winds will break down considerably. But the temperature really holding steady throughout the day around -18, -17 degrees. But we should see more of a mix of sun and cloud in the afternoon. Those winds still from the northwest, but at about 15 kilometers an hour. Up into Churchill, dropping to -34 degrees tonight there. Some light snow moves into Island Lake this evening. The overnight low around -23, and then tomorrow just -30 in Churchill for a high in the sunshine. Gillam, Thompson -27, -26 degrees under a mix of sun and cloud. In the northwest tonight, a little bit of light snow, as cold as -30 overnight for Lynn Lake. Tomorrow you'll see flurries in Flin Flon, a little bit more light snow for the Paw. The Paw goes to -19 tomorrow afternoon. In the southwest tonight, light snow will be coming to an end. -20, -21, your overnight lows there. Mix of sun and cloud tomorrow for Brandon and Neepawa, up to -17. Now, Dauphin and Swan River, there's a slight chance of a little bit of light snow in the morning. Otherwise, a mix of sun and cloud. Similar temperatures, -17, -18 degrees tomorrow afternoon. Winnipeg in the southeast, we will see the falling snow come to an end. It will be blowing around throughout the night, though. Overnight lows between -16 and -18 degrees. Mix of sun and cloud for Winnipeg and the surrounding areas. The temperature pretty much staying put throughout the day, around -16, -17. A few flurries to the east of the city there, Pinawa, Sprague, similar temperatures. And in northwestern Ontario, as I mentioned, 2 to 4 centimeters of snow yet tonight. Your temperatures rising throughout the night. That's why you see the asterisk. And then you'll notice, too, your temperatures will be falling throughout the day tomorrow under cloudy skies, down to around -16, -17 degrees. With all that said, let's head up to Victoria Beach. A beautiful look at the area there. That photo is from Darren. And you know it's Christmas time at CTV when we get our annual check-in with Penelope the donkey, wishing everyone a Merry Christmas from Beausejour. That photo is from Kendall. Send us your weather photos to winnipegweather@ctv.ca.
That is a game changer.
A huge leap forward in the treatment of stroke, courtesy of researchers right here in Canada. Those details next in Medical Watch.
Tonight.
It's eerie to be in rooms that I know were responsible for stealing billions of dollars.
Inside the mind of a scammer using AI as the tool of choice.
They've been sold a dream, and they want that dream.
The shocking reasons why some con artists say they're forced to target and defraud Canadians. W5 investigates tonight on CTV National News and ctvnews.ca.
Get Winnipeg's top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
With just a week left until Christmas, the Salvation Army is in need of help. The charity is struggling to find staff for its Christmas kettles, and donations are drastically down. Joining me now to talk more about this year's campaign is Kristen Morant with the Salvation Army. Kristen, good to speak with you.
Thank you for having me, Marilee.
First, just how short are you right now in terms of volunteers and donations?
Well, I am really happy to say that so far in Manitoba, we've raised over $285,000, $270,000 in Winnipeg alone. However, that puts us just over halfway to our goal for the whole province of Manitoba.
And time is running out. Are donations falling short across the country, or is what you're seeing specific to our region?
Unfortunately, this is a trend that we're seeing all across the board. I think everyone is being asked to do more with less, particularly at this very busy time of year. So this is a trend we're seeing right across the country.
I know the Salvation Army is involved in a lot of programs, doing a lot of good in this province. So what happens if you fall short of this fundraising goal and don't reach it?
So I've got every confidence. We know that Manitobans are so generous. And honestly, we do have several days left and a big weekend ahead. So I do believe that we can reach this goal. And one of the things that I think we're seeing is that folks are just giving differently this time of year. What we're seeing is a lot of folks making smaller donations or spreading their donations out over time, or they're giving in a different manner. Maybe they're giving digitally, maybe they're tapping their card as opposed to dropping cash in the kettle like we're used to seeing. So I'm confident we'll be able to make that goal, but what we'd really love to see is folks to get out. If they've been waiting for an opportunity, now is the time.
All right, as you mentioned, a big week ahead with just about a week left before Christmas in this campaign. How can people help you out and donate?
So we definitely need volunteers to staff the kettles. Without a volunteer, the kettle is just not as effective. So reaching out to your local Salvation Army, even if you have 1 or 2 hours to spare, would be a great help. Or if you want to donate online, that is another big trend that we've been seeing this year. SalvationArmy.ca or calling 1-800-SAL-ARMY are ways that folks can do that from the comfort of their homes.
Toy Mountain, also a big initiative CTV likes to get involved in. I know you're still in need of toys as well. Can you give us an update or how people can get involved in that?
Absolutely. So we still have toy donation drop-off locations open. You can find the entire list at toymountain.ca, but they are all through the city of Winnipeg. We do still need several thousand toys. So if you've been waiting or if you've maybe thought that it's too late, it's absolutely not. Just find a drop-off location near you, and we are grateful for every single donation that's been coming through.
Kristen, we are hoping you have a very busy week ahead of you. Thanks so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Health authorities worldwide have approved a drug treatment for stroke pioneered at the University of Calgary. Researchers conducted a clinical trial with 1,600 patients on tenecteplase, a drug already used for heart attacks. They found it's an effective clot-busting drug for strokes, too. Administered by IV, it saves time in situations where every minute counts.
That is a game changer. That means that anybody with an acute stroke can actually get a life-saving treatment in just 5 seconds if they're eligible for that treatment.
Dr. Menon also says the drug is helpful for stroke patients seeking care at rural hospitals. They can get the medication before being taken by ambulance to a larger hospital. A new study out of Sweden finds there's no need to avoid the charcuterie board at your next holiday gathering. The study looks at the possible link between eating more high-fat cheese like cheddar, Gouda, and Brie, and a lower risk of developing dementia. The study found people who ate 50 grams or more of high-fat cheese a day had a 13% lower risk of dementia than those who had less than 15 grams a day. Well, the study doesn't prove consuming high-fat cheese lowers the risk of dementia. Researchers say it does show an association. Some people may prefer to keep their drinking habits quiet, but new guidelines suggest people should talk about them with a doctor. With more, here's Michelle Franzen.
Alcohol use is one of the leading causes of preventable death in the U.S. And now new guidelines from the U.S. Preventative Services Task Force say doctors should screen all adults and offer counseling to those engaging in risky or hazardous drinking. The guidelines suggest screening includes just a few questions aimed at teasing out potentially unhealthy drinking habits before they turn into bigger issues. Experts emphasize that when it comes to pregnancy, there is no safe amount of alcohol consumption. Even small amounts raise the risk of long-term physical or developmental issues for the baby. As for teens, experts agree underage drinking is a concern too, but they call for more research to understand how to best address it. So at your next medical checkup, consider starting a conversation with your doctor about your relationship with alcohol. These new guidelines call for your provider to be ready to listen. With this Medical Minute, I'm Michelle Franzen.
Medical Watch is brought to you by Manukin Koster Denture Clinic.
Some holiday classics are getting ready to take the stage once again in Winnipeg. I'll look at some of the shows and when you'll be able to see them next in Spotlight.
Spotlight, sponsored by the Casinos of Winnipeg, presenting Men Without Hats and the Spoons.
The Royal Winnipeg Ballet's Nutcracker kicks off tonight at Centennial Concert Hall, and CTV News got a sneak peek of the performance. Showtime for the beloved holiday production. Well, it's already underway at 6:30, but if you can't make it tonight, you are in luck. Performances continue each day until next Tuesday, and then on December 26th and 27th. The production features multiple guest artists, including the Rusalka Ukrainian Dance Ensemble and the Ivan Flett Memorial Dancers. Well, what's better than a classic Robert Munch story told from the stage? How about 5 Munch stories all tied into one?
David and Julie drank their milkshakes.
And the father ate the octopuses.
A long-running tradition of Prairie Theatre Exchange returns this month with Munch Upon a Time. The time-traveling, family-friendly story adventures across 5 classics you'll know and love, including The Paper Bag Princess, The Fire Station, and Give Me Back My Dad.
This particular show is about time travel, and somebody comes from the past, somebody comes from the future, and they meet in present day 2025, and they all find out they have a love of telling stories together.
The show is geared towards children, but director Alyssa Watson says there's plenty of humor adults will appreciate. Munch Upon a Time kicks off Friday and runs through January 3rd. You can find tickets online at pte.mb.ca. The Winnipeg Art Gallery is making it easier for people to visit. Starting on January 7th, admission to the galleries will be free every Wednesday from 5 to 9 p.m., bringing along extended hours. The Art Gallery says it's part of an accessibility initiative which will last for the next 3 years. Called WAG Wednesday Nights, the initiative will also include free programming ranging from throwback hip-hop nights, jazz performances, screenings, and more. The gallery hopes this will create more opportunities for meaningful visits and cultural engagement. Your primetime Friday night lineup begins with Happy's Place at 7. At 7:30, watch Stumble. Celebrity Wheel of Fortune comes your way at 8, and at 9, catch Boston Blue. It's all right here tonight on CTV.
The CTV Primetime lineup is brought to you by Strictly Amish, exclusively in Arbor, Manitoba.
No, this isn't the set of a Hansel and Gretel movie. It's an actual house made of gingerbread. What it took to put it all together. Stay with us.
Women's clothing provided by RW & Company. Salon services provided by S&T Spa Salon.
Tonight released after decades behind bars.
Well, it's a lot of emotion. The best day of my career.
What finally opened the prison doors for a Montreal man. Later on CTV National News and watch on Crave.
A blowing snow advisory continues for Winnipeg and much of southern Manitoba. Here in the city, the snow continues to fall. It's minus 12 degrees, winds out of the south-southeast at 42 kilometers an hour. So the snow continues to blow around. The wind chill makes it feel like minus 23. Overnight, we dropped all the way down to minus 29 degrees. Highest temperature today was minus 12. Tonight, we'll drop down to around minus 18. The snow will stop falling this evening, but it will be blowing around throughout the night as the winds shift. We could see some blowing snow tomorrow morning, mix of sun and cloud. Otherwise, highs -17 degrees. Ditto on Sunday. Flurries and milder Monday. Sunny -16 on Tuesday. And merrily increasing cloud on Christmas Eve Wednesday, -10 degrees. And then Christmas Day, a nice mix of sun and cloud with a relatively mild high of -8 degrees.
Thanks, Colleen. Finally tonight, a giant gingerbread house inspired by the house of the movie Home Alone. Check this out. Disney is actually who's behind this. The goal is to break the 2013 Guinness World Record for the largest gingerbread house. This is made from 2,600 kilos of flour, 4,200 eggs, and 4,400 gingerbread brick tiles. It's being held together with 20 gallons of edible glue. Oh. It's open to the public this week as the team waits to see if this house holds the new world record. I'm shocked that there is a challenger that's anywhere near that size.
No kidding.
Wow. I can't even get the small ones to stay together.
Well, me neither. It wouldn't hold up too well in these clippers, or maybe it would. I don't know. That would be the test.
How good is that edible glue? Yeah. All right. Well, that does it for us. I'm on holiday break now, so
that's nice.
I wish you all a very Merry Christmas.
Well earned and well deserved.
Happy New Year. I will see you in 2026. Stay safe and enjoy the time with your family.
I'll see you next week.
Merry Christmas
Merry
to you
Christmas to you too.